Getting enough protein in the morning isn't easy. You want something that fits your routine and tastes good. That's where Silk Protein comes in. It's a new plant-based protein milk with 13 grams of complete plant protein, plus 3 grams of fiber and 50% less sugar than dairy milk. Pour a glass, blend it into a smoothie, or add it to your coffee for the road. Silk Protein helps provide the nutrients you want more of with a great taste. Shop now for Silk Protein at a store near you.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
To get the Crime Writers on Aftershow right now, go to patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, she was the daughter of an infamous serial killer. The woman teams up with a journalist to investigate what other crimes her father committed. We'll revisit our review of the classic true crime podcast, The Clearing. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband and the love of my life. It's Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
So, Kevin, what are we listening to in today's CWO Classic Rewind?
We're going back to our August 5th, 2019 review of The Clearing from Pineapple Street Media and Gimlet with host Josh Dean.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear our conversation about this one.
Yeah, and apologies again for my voice here. This was back in the day where, I had cancer. And so that's why. Don't listen and think Kevin had a cold. I'm fine in the end, but that's why things sound a little weird.
All right. Kevin, should we give this one a listen?
Yeah, let's do that.
Pineapple Street Media has partnered with Gimlet on a new series, The Clearing.
April Blasio has a lot of questions about her dad, Edward Wayne Edwards. Questions about who he was and what he did.
I had no tangible evidence that my dad killed anyone.
Questions she's hoping I can help her answer.
Oh, they are labeled.
Yes. They're labeled.
And Ed Edwards? He left behind a lot of clues. Like a box of cassettes police confiscated from his trailer.
And how many cassettes are we looking at here?
It's about 60, I believe.
Feedback.
Over his long life of crime, Edward Wayne Edwards admitted to killing 5 people, but there are those who think he's connected to a ton of unsolved murders, thanks to one man who's made that conspiracy his life's work. In the podcast, The Clearing, host Josh Dean and Edward's daughter April have teamed up to learn what other crimes he may have committed and which ones he most probably did not.
He always uses letters and numbers. The 5th letter of our alphabet is E. So killing 3 on 5-5 was something he had done in the past.
And who were these other three people?
The West Memphis 3. 5 and 93.
They were juveniles, right?
Yep. There were 3 kids.
It's bullshit.
But your father also killed 3 kids.
Bullshit.
In 1955 in
Bullshit.
Chicago.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it went before he came here. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Bullshit.
Filled with tons of tape from police investigations, new interviews, and the audio diaries of Edwards himself, The Clearing looks to peel away the conspiracy theories and get to the heart of what this serial killer actually did, while also examining the underpinnings of the true crime industrial complex. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from The Clearing, so if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the time code listed in our show notes. Now, Kevin, I have to throw this your way.
Yeah.
Josh Dean is the host of this podcast. He's a well-known magazine writer, great features personality that I am familiar with and know and believe I may have booked on some public radio interviews in my past life. Mm-hmm. But I actually learned about this podcast from a Facebook post from Jonathan Manhevar, who now works at Pineapple Street Media, is an alum of This American Life.
Okay.
I believe that this podcast, The Clearing, whatever we think of the story, the plot, what happened, I'm just going to throw it out there. In terms of production and mixing and music and leitmotifs and themes. I think this is one of the most perfectly produced podcasts I've listened to in a very long time. What do you think?
Well, I don't think I liked it as much as you did, but I mean, it's very, very good. Yeah, but I don't think it really takes off until episode 4.
Well, what I'm talking about though is the production. So what I think the argument I really want to make is the production style. And the use in particular of sort of like leitmotifs and music in this podcast. And sort of the way that Josh delivers it. Yes, it's very Leon Neyfakh. It's very straight. But can I just play you a sample of like the musical leitmotifs?
Please do.
Here's a clarinet for family.
When April was little, he supported the family by touring around, telling his story of redemption to church groups and high schools and police academies. But she also knew he couldn't hold down a job.
Here's electronica for story. Boom.
The sheriff's clerk, Sharon, she handed us all these tapes, neatly packed in 3 white boxes. When she first heard from April, a few months before our visit, Sharon was super curious to know what was on those tapes.
So do you see there that they use like texture in this story in a way that we don't often hear in these shows?
Yeah, it's not amateur hour. I get it. Yeah, it's very clever. It's an interesting concept because it's really different from any other pie. I mean, this is what Happy Face is not.
Yes.
Right?
It's the anti-Happy Face.
And yeah. It's like, okay, this is what we're actually going to try to achieve by looking into this guy's past. And then again, like I said, I think when we get to the end of episode 4, well, even the start of episode 4, I mean, it really takes off.
Yeah. So, Laura, I really want to talk about April. Because even though Josh tells us really in episode 4 that he kind of thought this whole thing might be a magazine article, it's April that's kind of the driving force behind this. Kevin and I just sort of joked about this being the anti-Happy Face, but she is the daughter of the bad guy here. Can you just talk a little bit about what you think her role in this podcast is?
Well, I think that she's sort of the catalyst for this podcast, like you said, becoming more than just a magazine story because right from the first episode, when you hear how she always thought something was a little off about her childhood, and she's getting up in the middle of the night Googling places that they lived because she felt like her father might be connected to crimes there. You immediately sense there's something a little bit different about her approach to what her father may or may not have done than other people that we've heard in the same situation. And also, she obviously, this is like, can you even imagine if this was somebody, your father that had been involved in these type of crimes? But the way that she talks about it and the way that she is involved in the case and the way that she talks with Josh, she comes across as a very likable character. And so I think that this podcast really becomes more, yes, it's about, and every time I hear Eddie Edwards, I keep thinking of our old liquor commissioner. Every time
yes.
I hear this, I'm like, it's not that Eddie Edwards. So, this podcast really becomes, yes, it's about him, but it's really her journey and her desire to find the truth. And she's not saying he didn't do these things. But she's also saying, he may or may not have done all these things that this other wingnut guy sort of throws out there to see what will stick.
I just want to follow you up with you on that, Laura, because I found myself asking this question, like, April fully knows her father is a serial killer. She knows it.
Yes.
And she turned him in. Like, she fucking knows it.
Yes.
She knows he's a bad guy. She's also not comfortable with him being portrayed as a worse guy than he was, although she's saying, like, show me the evidence and I'm fine with it. But like, if it's not true, don't say it. I find that fascinating. Like, she's not defending him.
No.
She's like, just let him be the bad guy he is and don't make him worse, but also don't make him better. Like, let the facts. Yeah. It's fascinating. What is this? Like her psychological journey? Like, what do you think that's about?
Well, I think that's it. And the thing is, when you listen to her talk about him, I mean, you expect to hear somebody who is completely overwhelmed and traumatized by the fact that this is their father. And that's not how she presents. She's just kind of matter of fact about it. But also, she's suitably horrified, but she's not crippled by that knowledge. She's actually seems almost empowered to find out the truth, which is what makes it so compelling to listen to her, I think. So I don't know what it is about her makeup. Maybe it's because she had to become adaptable as a child, as she's moving every 5 minutes. Every time he's like, let's go, it's 3 a.m, we're getting out of here. Who knows what went into that in terms of making her that type of person, but it's fascinating to listen to.
Now, Toby, you sent me a note. The first note you sent me in your list was you don't find the podcast super interesting. I want to give you a chance because I've obviously completely latched on to that fact that this is interesting. I'd like to hear your counterpoint on why you don't love this as much as I do. I'm just going to give you the floor. Go ahead, Toby Ball.
It's kind of interesting to try and explain why something isn't interesting. I guess my feeling is that a lot of the arc is not all that unexpected. Like once you kind of hear what his kind of intentions are, there's little anecdotes that I thought were interesting, but
Kentucky Fried Chicken? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the Kentucky Fried Chicken?
The Kentucky Fried Chicken thing was amusing.
So, he makes comments throughout the whole dinner. Oh, this is good Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh, these biscuits are just like Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'm kicking my husband on the table. Would you just shut up? Just let it go. Who cares? Just eat. It's good.
Then after a while of dropping hints, I'll just come right out and say, you're an idiot. I see this stuff right there in the kitchen.
But even in that situation, he would continue to...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that he 100% made the dinner just for no reason.
The thing where he shows up pretending he's a cop and talks to the neighbor is super creepy.
A couple days later, my mom, it hits her.
Oh, shit. That was Edwards.
Just to be clear, the cop with the mustache, that was Ed Edwards. Trying to picture, because he had sunglasses and a hat, he had disguised himself pretty well.
Oh, he hadn't. It was a fake mustache. It was a bad fake mustache.
And the fact that he was on What's My Line or whatever that show was.
Tell the truth.
By a variety of logics, we have arrived at the following conclusion. A pair of twos on each end. The votes are all in. Will the real Ed Edwards please stand up?
Numbers 1 and 2 both fake like they're about to rise. And then actual Ed Edwards stands with the wide smile of a man who's just conned everyone into believing he's actually reformed.
It's kind of good, but the arc did not, to me, seem to be particularly surprising or unusual beyond these little anecdotes. I don't know. I just kind of felt like we spent a lot of time listening to him talk, listening to other people talk without a whole hell of a lot going on, except for an occasional little anecdote that seemed a little unusual. But once you realize that what he really wants to do is he wants to be executed. And then there's a lot of time spent about the ins and outs of what he's going to have to do to get transferred to Ohio so he can get executed there, and the disappointments. And, I don't know. I just kind of felt I had a hard time connecting with it. And then again, until, like Kevin said, I thought the fourth episode sort of really changed it quite a bit. But, at that point, you're 2 hours in or more. Again, it's not like it's bad. The idea that there's this treasure trove of audio, this guy was such a narcissist that he felt like he better record all his thoughts all the time. And then you have access to that. And the guy's also deranged. That's a treasure trove of stuff. But the reality is that what he's talking about isn't super interesting. You try to think well, what if this guy what if we didn't think he was a serial killer? Is any of this stuff then become interesting? And I felt like a lot of it was only interesting because you thought you were getting some kind of insight into this sort of terrifying person. I don't know. I didn't find that particularly compelling. The fourth episode I thought was really interesting.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that fourth episode. But before we do, Kevin, can I just make a counterpoint to what Toby said, and you can disagree with me if you want.
All right.
So we hear about sort of the tape and, Edward Edwards, which I know he changed his name and that was not his name. But my first question for someone named Edward Edwards is why do your parents hate you so much? Anyway, one of the things that stuck out to me that I loved was when April took the podcast producers to explore one of her memories.
Mm-hmm.
And she had this memory of her father, take this very specific place, this very specific park, taking her to see a crime scene. And she's and they were very doubtful. They get there and they find the place, and it's actually where those victims were found. And it really was a crime scene. And it very much seems to me like those setup episodes, which I don't think you loved either, and which Toby clearly didn't love before episode 4, were about testing April's veracity so that we could trust that they've brought her into this. And I know it took a kind of a long time to get there. I thought it was really good. And it built a lot for me of investment in, unlike Happy Face, where it was just like a fever dream. Yeah. It built a lot for me of like, it was a slow build, but I know I'm impatient and I always say like slow builds are a barrier. Why did I like it so much and you guys didn't?
I really liked it too, Rebecca. So
okay, I'm glad so it wasn't just me.
No, I really liked it, and I really liked the music that they used, and the music was even kind of quirky to me. Some of the music that like it was like like kind of lighter sounding music than you would. Yes. And I was like, this is an interesting music choice. And I loved some of the little quips that Josh threw in, where I was like, that's kind of funny. I bet he's got a good sense of humor in person.
$1 bill.
The limitations of a podcast prevent me from showing you this video. You can find it yourself on YouTube if you really want. But let me save you the time. This random Santa, I'm not sure who he is, but he's not Ed Edwards.
I do really like Josh.
Yeah.
I think he is a great storyteller. You definitely can tell from his writing, while he's not a broadcast journalist, he's good with words. He also knows how to take his script and make it sound like he's talking slightly extemporaneously. So it's good in that way. Like a Sarah Koenig, like a Leon Neyfakh. You know, there are some, folks that are just sort of like spinning a tale. Not in a fantabulous way. No, right. Not in a fantastic way, but sort of like just really connecting with you and talking sort of generally about, this is what I found. Not reading a report, but sort of reporting back to you.
Now, let's talk about episode 4, where it took a big turn for you, I know, because I think I walked in on you listening and you said, I've just changed my mind about this whole thing. John Cameron, who is the guy that we hear has been propagating this story, like we saw the news reports post Making a Murderer thing, like that's Edward Edwards in the footage. He's really the one who killed Teresa Hallback, and he really killed John Benet Ramsey, and he's also the Zodiac. One guy is responsible for this, John Cameron. Our introduction to him is that Josh Steen goes to interview him, and he's in the hospital.
On morphine with a punctured lung.
On morphine because he says he had a drunken fall. What a way to introduce an unreliable source, right?
Yeah, but his unreliability is the reason he's a character in this at all. At all. They're not going to go find like, oh, here's the chief inspector of the case. They're really there to talk to the guy who has created this fable that he deeply believes in. He's, White Whale and Ahab.
For the true crime industrial complex.
Yeah, well, or I mean, not even that. I mean, just it's so far out that, like you said, that the radio host for Coast to Coast.
Oh my God, I have to talk about that.
Was even he was tongue-tied.
There's another moment on Coast to Coast when Cameron spins the story so wild that when he's finished, the host just pauses for an uncomfortably long time.
You research these kind of cases, you see all of these stories. Do you ever think that the obsession of tracking this kind of story?
I have to tell you, Coast to Coast has a special place in my home.
Oh no!
My Uncle Walter, who comes to stay with us every Christmas for an extended visit, he has insomnia, and his favorite thing to do at night, he has finally fessed up, is listen to Coast. So for his birthday this year, I got him a 6-month subscription to the podcast, so we didn't have to stay up till 1 a.m. to listen to it.
Nice.
Oh,
very nice.
You're sweet.
So I was so excited when I heard this. I'm like, oh, this is great. I can't wait to tell Uncle Wal about this.
Now, Toby, I kept thinking about you listening to episode 4 because I felt like April, who, by the way, as we mentioned, is the daughter of the serial killer, Edward Edwards, is playing you in this podcast when she's listening to John Cameron's claims on the Today Show.
Edwards ties a lot of his murders to 666.
Okay, that's just absolutely ludicrous. To me, that is just totally ludicrous. It's crazy. I have no idea how he came up with that idea.
But that's where the evidence led.
What evidence? Seriously, what evidence? And he's not really...
Lacey was killed on Christmas Eve. Her body was found on Palm Sunday. He stages his murders on Christian holidays.
No, he doesn't.
4th of July, more Memorial Days.
No, he doesn't.
Anything that's a significant day in history.
You also suggest he may be responsible for this.
Yeah. So, and then, all right, now the ones that he confessed to, were any of those on any holidays? No.
So, Toby, do you think that April is the Toby Ball of this podcast?
Geez, yeah, I hope so. No, I mean, this is where I thought the podcast kind of like suddenly got interesting, where you've got this woman who, grew up with this monster as a father, and she knows he did terrible things. And then she has to deal with this guy who's like, he was the Zodiac killer, and he killed this person. Have you ever heard of a private? Do you think your dad ever chartered jets? It's like, what, you think he chartered a jet so he could fly to Denver and kill JonBenet Ramsey and then get back? I mean, what the hell are you talking about? That was interesting. It was interesting to have that dynamic set up. And that guy is just so full of shit. It's unbelievable. When you were talking earlier about The Remnant, and you talked about how you thought it was, clever framing to start off with the bomb and then sort of move on from there to sort of the meat of what they're going to talk about. I almost think that, maybe they could have started with something like this. It might have caught my interest a little bit more. And I hate that idea of criticizing something because they didn't make it the way you wanted them to make it. You got to kind of take it on its own merits. I don't know. I guess I'll save it for the recommendations, but I think if you can hang in there to get to the fourth one, there's a good payoff.
Now, Laura, at the end of the fourth episode, this is why I put the extra spoiler alert in our spoiler alerts. There's a bit of a kicker because the podcast tells us, first we're going to look at what this guy did, and then we're going to look at the larger thing. And it does take 3 episodes to get to the larger thing. But then at the end of the fourth episode, maybe he actually did do something that John Cameron thinks he may have done, and they're going to now maybe solve that. What did you think of that?
I don't even know. I will reserve judgment until I hear what they have to say, because I guess it is probable when you hear this guy. I mean, he wrote a book about his crimes. He wants a lot of attention about his crimes. He's pretty narcissistic. And then when you hear kind of details of things that he's done and the fact that they were moving all the time, it is plausible to think that maybe there are other things that he was involved in. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I don't think it's JonBenet, but I don't think it's Teresa Halbach. But it is going to be interesting to hear where they go next with this.
Do you think he's the Zodiac?
No. But am I going to eat my words? I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I won't be surprised if he's linked to more crimes.
Well, I mean, I think they have handled this podcast so well to start. I can't imagine this is a fake out, or it's worse, like what happened with Serial, where they have these great cliffhangers and never fulfill them. So my interest is now piqued as to what they might actually find out.
Getting enough protein in the morning isn't easy. You want something that fits your routine and tastes good. That's where Silk Protein comes in. It's a new plant-based protein milk with 13 grams of complete plant protein, plus 3 grams of fiber and 50% less sugar than dairy milk. Pour a glass, blend it into a smoothie, or add it to your coffee for the road. Silk Protein helps provide the nutrients you want more of with a great taste. Shop now for Silk Protein at a store near you.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
So, Kevin, who's the next sponsor for this fine podcast?
Oh, our sponsor is Quince.
Kevin, I'm wearing a Quince dress right now.
I know. Hold on now. Don't get ahead of ourselves. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. And Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love with things like What is this?
Incredible linen wrap dress. I wear this dress all the time. This button-down, camp dress. I love it.
They've got such amazing European linen products.
The linen's
shirts that I have. It's great for the summertime.
Pants I just ordered.
Very comfortable, yet elevated. Wait. I mean, elevated. But we don't know. Hold on. You just ordered more stuff from Quince?
Did you see the package upstairs? It's a pair of pants.
Oh, that's...
I was European linen pants. I had to try them because they're a new style.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. At this point, though, Quince, please, you must name a whole clothing line after Rebecca. Because she has single-handedly kept several people employed.
Yes.
I think. There at Quince.
So make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/crime. For free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too.
Bonjour, hi.
That's QUINCE.com/crime. For free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crime.
Hi, I'm Daniel, founder of Pretty Litter. Cats and cat owners deserve better than any old-fashioned litter. That's why I teamed up with scientists and veterinarians to create Pretty Litter. Its innovative crystal formula has superior odor control and weighs up to 80% less than clay litter. Just one bag lasts up to a month, meaning fewer refills and less scooping. Pretty Litter even monitors health by changing colors to help detect early signs of potential illness. It's the world's smartest kitty litter.
Go to prettylitter.com and use code Pandora for 20% off your first order.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I think we should do what we do and tell our listeners, should they check out The Clearing? It's a podcast from Pineapple Street Media. I think the partnership with Gimlet, that's just who's distributing it and doing the marketing for them. I'm not sure. But anyway, the Pineapple Street people have made this podcast, The Clearing, with Josh Dean. Thumbs up or thumbs down review. What do you think, Laura Bricker? What should our audience take away? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm going with thumbs up. I really liked this podcast. I liked the narrator's style. I liked, his manner of delivery and his writing. And I loved April, the daughter of the killer. And I also really liked the quirky music that they used and the production quality of this podcast. So I really liked this. It was really interesting to listen to. There's also, you've got tapes. We've got access to the killer himself. That's always fun. So I would say thumbs up.
Toby Ball, I can't wait to hear what you think. Thumbs up or thumbs down from The Clearing. Where do you finally land, Toby Ball?
I guess I'll give it a thumbs up. The writing's good. Everything basically about it is good other than the first 3 episodes. I don't even know if it's slow going, but it's just, I didn't find it super interesting. And then suddenly the 4th episode comes and it's like, oh, well, that's a whole different deal. And I should also say that I think that other people will like it more than I did. I'm just not that interested in the whole serial killer genre. If people are interested in it, there's probably a lot there for them. And then again, you get to the 4th and it suddenly springs to life, like Kevin said. So I'll give it a thumbs up, but it's kind of a qualified one.
Yeah. I'm giving it a huge thumbs up. And I just want to say, for everybody out there who disagreed when we said that Happy Face was, what did you say, Kevin? Fucking hot mess of a podcast?
Yeah, I think that.
This is everything for me that podcast wasn't. And everything for me that the podcast, what was the other one with the kids in the van and the art? Broken Hearts. This is, it could be so voyeuristic. We have the daughter of a serial killer working with a reporter to flesh out a story. It could be a disaster, and it is the opposite of a disaster for me. It's funny, all the complaints that you and Toby have, Kevin, about sort of the restraint of the first 3 episodes and the sort of the things it does. To me, those are the things that make the 4th episode work. Because if we started there, I would be calling bullshit, just like April does in that episode. But the integrity of the first 3 build the foundation for me upon which now I am willing to go to whatever crazy place this podcast goes because I have so much trust in what they're doing. I am in love with The Clearing. I think it's one of the best things I've listened to in a very long time. I very often say on this show that like I only listen to what I have to listen to review it, and then I'll never talk about it again. Like I am going to be listening to this podcast every week until it's over. I love it. It's going to be first on my playlist. Kevin, what about you? Thumbs up or thumbs down for The Clearing?
I'm a thumbs up. Like I said, that it was a really good podcast, and then you get to episode 4, and all of a sudden, I mean, it's a fantastic episode. I can only hope that it means that it's taking the podcast in a great way. I will. Can I tell you though what the thing I really hate about the podcast is? The name.
The Clearing?
The Clearing.
What does it mean?
Is we're going to be clearing somebody, so this is the clearing of them?
No.
It's not about a clearing in the woods, right?
Well,
the
that's
place
where they
they
went.
found.
That
Yeah.
clearing where they went, where the pond was, right?
It's her memory.
That clearing?
I kind of think...
See, because I think it plays like we're clearing.
No,
like
it's the place. Because remember the place of her childhood.
Was it clearing?
Yes.
Okay, Rebecca, so I got to ask, do you still love this podcast?
I still really love this podcast. I really love it. If I remember correctly, Jonathan Manahivar was one of the producers of the podcast. It had a really singular soundtrack. The scoring was a lot of clarinet, kind of jaunty, kind of interesting. And I still, to this day, sorry, Josh, if you're listening, I think it's the best podcast Josh Dean has ever made. I think this podcast is interesting. I think it's fun. I think it ends up being about something completely different than it starts being about. And for me, it really holds up. What about you?
You don't have to apologize to Josh for him
He's
saying
fine.
it's the best one. It isn't like saying this was the worst one and
That's true.
we shit all over it.
That's true. He's fine.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get to other things this summer that we can shit over.
All right. So this show was recorded in the Caitlin Rogers Project Studio, also known as Studio C, The Closet, in our New Hampshire basement, where we also shit talk the Today Show in real time. On behalf of all the crime writers, thanks so much for listening. We will catch you later.
Partners in Crime Media.
Getting enough protein in the morning isn't easy. You want something that fits your routine and tastes good. That's where Silk Protein comes in. It's a new plant-based protein milk with 13 grams of complete plant protein, plus 3 grams of fiber and 50% less sugar than dairy milk. Pour a glass, blend it into a smoothie, or add it to your coffee for the road. Silk Protein helps provide the nutrients you want more of with a great taste. Shop now for Silk Protein at a store near you.